What up, YouTube? It's your boy Banks, and we back in the building. You feel me? It's True Talks, cause True Talks. All right, let's get straight right into it. So you already know, obviously, the Clippers, man. The Clippers were having a tough time, man. People were obviously, you know me, like I stay grounded. I know that with the Clippers, it's waves, it's highs and lows and highs and lows, and it's a nonstop roller coaster in terms of emotions and how you feel about them, etc. And like you just gotta you just gotta be patient with this team. Automatically, when you have a team that their best superstar, Kawhi, does load management, PG's gonna miss some games here and there. Automatically, you can't be too worried with this team. They're gonna have strides where they're not playing the greatest. They're gonna have strides when they are. Before Kawhi even came back fully, right? Now when Kawhi comes back, people are adjusting to their new roles, not playing as much versus playing as much, touching the rock versus going back to catching, shooting, and not doing as much. Like there's a rhythm adjustment that has to happen when Kawhi comes in and PG are coming in, and then now the next game back to back they might not play that game. Like it's a forever high and low, forever inconsistent rhythm and everything. You got to understand that. And then not only that, and you should know by now, if you're a Kawhi fan, you should know when it's time to turn up. It's Kawhi not. Please don't try. Stop, boy. You should know that by now. You should know that by now. He might not get no regular season MVP. He might not average the most top points per game. You know what I mean? He's going to play maybe 60%, 50% of the game. I don't know, whatever. Like, there's going to be things that come with him where it's like, God damn Kawhi, God damn Kawhi, God damn Kawhi. But when it's time to turn up, all that shit is out the window, fam. All that shit is out the window, fam, and he becomes a top 5 player in the NBA. Guaranteed. 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 You heard? Guaranteed. So when we talk about that, when you understand that, there's only a level of concern you should ever have. As long as he is on the court, as long as he is hooping, no matter if he's healthy or not. We've seen him unhealthy. Still. With the Raptors, unhealthy at times. Still. Shoot almost 50, 40, 90. Still get his. Come on now. He has a level of mentality and a level of Mamba mentality that exists within Kawhi that, like, he gonna turn up. He don't just play good. Some superstars, they play good. He plays above and beyond what you're used to him playing. If he's averaging 25, he gonna average 33 now when it's time. You know what I'm saying? 30 when it's time. Like, that's the Kawhi we talking about. Which now is gonna rise. Everybody else's level of play. PG's gonna rise. Everybody's gonna rise, because when that guy's rising, you don't need to say nothing. There's leaders. Leaders could lead by talking. Could be a vocal leader. Or you could have a lead by example leader where when he goes out there and he's getting steals and he's hooping and he's snapping, everybody else turns up just by, oh, that man's here today. Oh, he's doing that. All right, we here too. You don't have to say nothing. It's no long talk. You don't have to talk. My play, dude, look, I lead by example, fam. There's some guys that will tell him, man, yo, hustle, what are you doing? But then they got to be pushed to go play defense in the corner. We're not going to talk about that. My fault. But you know what I'm saying? There's players who are vocal leaders, but they also make bare mistakes too. So when that man says to you, what are you doing? Rotate faster, fam. Come on, lock in. You be like, shut up, nigga. You be like, all right, but shut up, nigga. You didn't lock in either. I hoop. So we understand. Come on now, I'm speaking. I'm speaking to somebody. I'm speaking to somebody. You heard? I'm speaking. But then there's that one guy that don't need to say nothing. When you make a mistake, yo, my fault, fam. My fault. Damn, I gotta be there. Because the look he even was about to give you, that he's been A1. He has made no mistakes. That now, I got to be A1 too. If he's A1 and he's getting buckets and he's making no mistakes defensively and he's snapping and he's padding and he's doing all that, rebounding, doing all the little things, like you see him. Now, damn, I made a mistake. My fault, Kawhi. Fuck. That's my fault, man. Like, you're apologetic before anything. Mans don't even tell you nothing. There's a level. You understand what I'm saying? There's a level of echelon where, and then that's why the Kobe's and the Jordans are different, because they were both. They weren't leaders by example. They were only leaders by example, sorry. They also were vocal leaders. mental leaders. Like, they led in every category. And that's a level where it's like, okay, that's different. That's a different, like, that's just like, that's why it's just those two and everybody else. But for the most part, you can lead by example and still being close to their echelon. And Kawhi is that. So when you have that guy on the team, there's a level of trust you should always have. A level of confidence you should always have. A level of, okay, I know, even in doubt, even if I might not see the light, because you're on the team, I know we gonna be, you be the light. Oh my goodness. I don't need to see the light. You be the light, so I always see the light. You just gotta walk in the huddle. Oh, the light here. You know what I'm saying? It's a light year. Oh my God, yo, we getting buckets. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Like, there's a level of confidence that y'all, if you're Clippers fans, if you're a Kawhi fan, you need a Kawhi we trust. I had to get that out the way before I even talk about anything else. So there's a level of confidence you should always have. Always. And that's how the Raptors even operated when they had him in the finals. There's a level of, we gonna get this one. We gonna win two, fam, in Golden State. What are you talking about? There's a level of even kill, like, there's a level of confidence you have when you have that guy with you. And that's what I'm trying to say. So, like, yes, they lost 4 when they made the trade with Westbrook. Everybody was getting at them. I don't know what they do, and boom, 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 boom. I already said that Westbrook trade, I already know it's going to take time for it to be its best version. And I know its best version of the Westbrook trade will never be the best version of if you had a guy who could shoot at the one, let's say, not a John Wall. That's why I said it could work with Westbrook, because they had John Wall. John Wall wasn't even the greatest shooter either. He did do more pull-ups and more stuff like that, but at the end of the day, their play style was very more so similar. And you just have to enable Westbrook to do those pull-ups and to do those shots, which he sometimes does. You just have to give him more confidence that, like, even if you miss, it don't matter. We believe that you can hit that. Do you. Like, be yourself. So you're starting to see Westbrook be more comfortable as the games go on. So I know that what they envisioned with John Wall is what they envisioned with Westbrook. There's no difference. You understand where I'm coming from? In terms of, our point guard might not be able to shoot like that, but our transition is going to be off the chain. He's going to get rebounds. He's going to get assists. Like, we're going to be off the chain in different categories that we always have to rely on half court all the time. So if half court is struggling, we never had a guy who just going to push the tempo like that off a rebound. John Wall was that. But because of injuries, he wasn't able to be that fully and all that type of stuff. Westbrook is that. He's the healthy version of John. Like, he's always going to play. He's rarely going to be injured. Like, he's the motor's always there. He is the healthy version of John Wall at this point. He looks worse because of what he looked with the Lakers. But that, if you already had the John Wall, that's why I'm like, I'm not mad at them going for Westbrook. I could see what they're doing. It's like, this is what we envision with John Wall. We need a point guard to control tempo, sometimes bring up the ball. Like, we don't have to always have it in Kawhi and PG's hands. We need a PG. And he's going to push the tempo. Yes, he might make mistakes. Yes, he might make, whatever. But regardless, we want him to be himself, and that's what we want. So Westbrook, John Wall is always the same category, right, in terms of just skill sets, point guard. So when you look at it from that perspective, I knew that the Westbrook trade wasn't going to be that bad. I just understand that, like, I know that if you have a point guard who could really get buckets like that, like a Brogdon who could shoot and stuff like that, that will make the Clippers a whole different, which is why Boston is a whole different. You know what I'm saying? When you have a PG that could shoot and it's not like a liability at times when people aren't sagging off, it takes them to a whole new echelon. But then again, I said this previously in the previous Raptors video, the same thing. Like, you've seen when you have, it depends who your personnel is. When you have a skill set in Kawhi and PG, they have no weakness offensively. When you have that on the court, you could get away with a PG who lacks, or a non-shooter and a non-shooter in Zubats and Westbrook. It's the same thing when KD and Kyrie went on a 12-game winning streak with Brooklyn, when they were still playing with Ben Simmons and Claxton in the same lineup as Kyrie and KD. Those are two non-shooters. It didn't matter because those guys can score in any spot on the floor. Doesn't matter. Double contest, no contest, one contest. They don't need the paint to score. Hence Kawhi and PG. They don't need the paint to score, which is why Zubac can operate however he wants to operate. He can stand on the block the whole possession on the dunker spot, and it doesn't matter. Claxton can stand in dunker spot the whole possession. Doesn't matter. The minute KD's about to do a pull-up, now that big, he beat that one guy. Now the big has to help. He pump fake. That man jump, about to do a dribble pull-up. That big man has to help. Bounce pass, dunk, or alley dunk. Like, there's still, even with the lack of skill set, there's that man's skill set is so potent that it makes that guy be in his strength. He's usable. He the service he produces, because now it's a chain reaction. You're not just giving it to him to post up or to get the bucket. No, because that guy has to react to a skilled guy, he's now open in his strength position, as opposed to you're limited, so you have to go spot up to the corner. You need a shooter so that when you're open in your strength that's outside the paint, because I need the paint. So now we need a guy whose strength whose strength enables my strength. My strength is anything. So you could be yourself. That's KD and Kyrie. You could be yourself. You could be in the paint. Both of you could. One could be free throw line. One could be on the block. It don't matter. I'm still going. Like, they literally had bad spacing at times, and it did not matter because those guys don't need space to score. I can just pull up without a dribble, fam. Like, I don't need space. What are you talking about? So when you look at it from that perspective, this is why I was never the one that said it won't completely work, but I also know that I got to wait and see how they're going to let Westbrook be. If they let Westbrook be Westbrook, that's what was throwing me off at the beginning of those first 4 games. They'll let Westbrook be Westbrook, but then take him out and do that whole Lakers rotation sometimes. Like, dog, let him play 30 minutes. Let him be the normal starting point guard that he's supposed to be. Let him be Westbrook. Yes, depending on how the game's going, he might not finish games or whatever, but that doesn't mean he didn't play 30 plus. He didn't play 30 minutes, et cetera, et cetera. Like, what are we talking about? Right? And when you look at it from that perspective, that's why I'm like, the Westbrook trade, if they just need to just let Westbrook be Westbrook, yo. When you let him be Westbrook, then you'll really see the impact that he'll actually have, regardless of minutes or anything like that. Which you look at it, every game now, remember, in the 4-game winning streak, 4-game losing streak that he played with the Clippers, let's look at it. He played 39 minutes, I think, versus Sacramento. Yeah, that was his first game. But that 39 minutes was because it went to double overtime. The other game that went to overtime, he only played 25, then 28, then 28, then 36 because I think they were injured, right? And now, outside of that, he's still playing 34, 23, 23, 27 minutes because the fourth quarter, he's out a little bit and stuff like that. But when he's actually playing, he's playing. You know what I'm saying? They're letting him be himself. The turnovers at times would be very high and stuff like that, but they're letting him be himself, and he's starting to be more confident. He doesn't have to shoot OD and stuff like that, but even then, he went 6 for 16 versus Golden State. He still was chucking. 3 for 8, 3 for 6, 4 for 9, 12 for 16. Like, he's had games where he's aggressive. He's always going to have those games where he's aggressive. He's not. He kind of reads the game and just plays whatever he's playing. But for the most part, in his minutes that he's playing, like, he's shooting 5 threes. He shot 5 threes versus Golden State. The other time when he faced Golden State, he shot 5 threes and missed, but they were daring him and he was like hesitant to shoot them. Now he's pulling them. He's not pulling them every time. You don't have to pull them every time. Just because they sag off you doesn't mean you have to pull them every time. Run your play actions or whatever. But if they disrespect you or the play don't work and you're sagging off, then pull it, fam. You know what I'm saying? So, like, he's starting to get more confident and understand that, okay, you know what? I'm just going to hoop. And not only that, Ty Lue's letting him be himself, even though it might be in certain minutes where he might not be playing, but they're still letting him be himself in his minutes that he's being played. Or that he's playing. So, when you look at it from that perspective, again, that clash of play style, or a clash of that, it's not a clash of play style. It's just that he's lack shooting and Zubac's lack shooting, but they're not going to clash because Westbrook has the ball and he's ball handling, and Zubac is a big, and all those other guys can play off ball. They can play on ball. They can make Westbrook go off the ball and he's roaming, and then he doesn't impede them. Like, they let Westbrook sometimes be the screener. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So when you look at it from that perspective, you're not even seeing the maximized version that the Clippers are with Westbrook. He's only going to get better and get better and get better. So, you know what I mean? Sometimes that guy who lacks shooting brings a whole lot to the table that, yes, they lack shooting. They might be just a spot-up guy to enable Kawhi and PG or whatever. But now because Kawhi and PG can score regardless, that guy, even though he lacks shooting, he brings rebounding. He brings assisting. He brings a motor. He brings other things that one guy who, let's say he could have been a PG at that position and was just spotting up like Reggie Jackson, he's just going to spot up and hit catch and shoots for the most part when Kawhi and PG are there. He'll score here and there off the ball handling, but for the most part, it's going to be catch and shoot type stuff. He's not bringing the intensity in terms of the defense. He's not getting the rebounds OD. He's not getting the assists OD. He's not pushing the temp. Like, there's certain things that he's not bringing to the table that the Clippers do need because they lack defense at times. But when his intensity is there, that hustle and extra, especially when they play small ball, you have a point guard who could rebound. Like there's certain things he brings to the table that's gonna help, even though he lacks shooting. You get what I'm saying? The lack shooting won't affect this team as much as it might affect when he was with the Lakers because they have bare non-shooters. So you know what I'm saying? So like his lack of shooting, he's the one guy that doesn't really shoot. Everybody else is shooting. So there's still going to be 3 shooters in the game at all times. So you know what I'm saying? So when you look at it from that perspective, I kind of could see where the Clippers could maximize this. They could be a good contending team, especially the more confidence Westbrook gets, the better he shoots, the better he gets. He's just breaking. Remember, a whole year and a half, he's been playing with you can't shoot, you can't do this, you're a shell of yourself, you're Fugazi. So it's only game 8, probably, I think it is. He's only gonna get better and better and better when he snaps out of that completely. Like, okay, I could trust the Clippers. I can actually just be myself. They're not gonna boo me when I miss, when I shoot. Like, they don't care. Now I could really get into that attitude and dive into that. Like, and that means I'm only gonna shoot it better. Now I could really shoot it with confidence. Like, it's only gonna improve. So that's just things that stat sheets don't really kind of put into context or anything like that. So when you look at it from that perspective, again, like, it's beautiful to see that Westbrook is getting the chance to, more so be himself. I still think they should let him be himself more. But then again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. In the end games, they're still winning without him being out there sometimes and stuff like that. So that benefits, I guess, the Clippers. Ty Lue, he's a great coach, so he gonna do what he gonna do. But again, the acquisition of Plumlee, now that they have 2 bigs, you see that whole small ball they always used to have to do when Zubac wasn't in the game. Now they also have another big, and they're also leaving Zubac in closing minutes like versus the Warriors. That benefited them. Yes, it's going to affect where, you need him to like play high in the screens and stuff like that. And sometimes he doesn't. But when you get on him to do that, yes, even Will Curry was dropping 50 and he was snapping. Now when they went on the other side, if the Clippers did miss, if the Warriors missed a shot, they weren't getting an offensive rebound because Zubac was there. So it was one and done every time. So now the chance for Curry to make 10 straight field goals, that's like once in a lifetime. He might make 8, he might make 7, he might snap and make 5 straight, but he gonna miss 2 now, and now he might make 1. Like, there's still gonna be like, because you're at a disadvantage, you have to be A1 no misses to win. If you happen to miss one, you're not getting another chance because that's what Zubac presents because they're small. When the Clippers would go small, offensive rebounds is happening. So now you don't have to go small because you have 2 centers. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to play that game where, okay, damn, he can't guard, we have to go small. You could now do everything. You can go small if you want to, but you don't have to. Where before they had to. Now, look, Zubac's in the game. He's getting rebounds. They're going small. Now you have the advantage. He's getting rebounds. Now when Kawhi misses a shot, Zubac's getting the putback. They're getting rebounds, offensive rebounds. So now you, as the Golden State Warriors, Steph is dropping 50, but when you make them miss, it's not guaranteed you're going to get the rebound. So you're at a double disadvantage. You can't miss, because if you miss, you're not getting it back. And now when you make them miss, you might not even get it back. So you have to make them miss and try to get it back. And like it's double, it's a disadvantage times 2. So that's why the Clippers ended up outlasting the Warriors in that game by 8, a comfortable win. Because of those little things. And that's why the roster, that's what I was saying, the roster, the Clippers kind of binded together by trading, Reggie Jackson and getting rid of a couple guys, even though Bones Highland hasn't been able to play, whatever the case is. He's more so maybe down the line future, maybe not this season. He had his opportunity, didn't work. Now Westbrook came, cancels Bones, stuff like that. When you look at it, Eric Gordon has been a great addition. Powell has even been playing too. So when you add him, that's even more. So when you look at it, like they're deep, individually talented. They're the people, they use each other. Everyone could do anything. Morris could post up if he wants. Like everyone could just hoop and do whatever. But then those guys who get buckets could also spot up if they want to. They know we're going to get the ball. There's a hierarchy in place. Kawhi PG first, everybody else second. And everybody knows what it is. So this is why the offense isn't lacking. And if it's lacking, they still are running it properly. There's no clash for the most part. Now the little things, they're starting to clean up a lot of these little things, which is why even if they're struggling in offense, they're still winning some of those games in this 4-game winning streak. When they're on offense, they're killing on defense. Like they're having more. The little things are being corrected. They're not making as much mistakes, even though they're making mistakes. Don't get it twisted. But it's being canceled and is less and less and less as now they go because they have the personnel and the repertoire from a player's perspective or talent perspective to do those little things where they were lacking a lot of those things, but just by size, by this, by that. Now they have every angle covered. And that's the definition of a contender, when you have every angle covered. Doesn't mean in that game, you're going to have to choose which angle you're going to go with that game. It's a game by game. That's where read and react comes in. That's where coaching talent comes in. That's where player talent comes in. But for the most part, just off paper, if they were to go small, can we go small? Yes. If they could go big, can we go big? Yes. If we can go big and one big is struggling in foul trouble, do we have another big to go big? Yes. Okay, we have 2 options to go big. Okay, perfect. Okay, do we have a third option? Maybe. I don't know. But now do we have a small option? Do we have multiple small options? Like you have, you know what I'm saying? You have that kind of blueprint panned out, and then now depending on how the game goes, you decide which option you're going to use in each moment, each momentum, each period, how they go, how they adjust, etc. But for the most part, just having the ability to do this, go big twice. You have 1 big, 2 big, and now go small. That's the blueprint of a contender. That's always been it. That's just what it is. So, and that's where you see the Warriors are lacking. Last year, they got away with it. They only had 1 big and went small. They didn't have, if that 1 big is in foul trouble, do you have another big? They didn't have that. But they got away with that because they're so potent in their small ball. So they can get away with that. But not everybody's the Warriors. Not everybody's the Warriors. You know what I'm saying? So that's when you look at it from that perspective. I like what I'm seeing from the Clippers. I like what I'm seeing from an offensive perspective. Kawhi's just turning up. PG also turning up. Like they're on a 4-game win streak. So we'll see how they continue. I like what I see, but they do have, they're getting into tough territory. Kawhi's been snapping. We already know, but they're getting into tough territory. Let's see their schedule. They got Orlando, Portland, OKC. So those are 4. You should make this win streak 8. But then you get into New Orleans, Chicago, Memphis, New Orleans, Los Angeles, Portland, Phoenix. I mean, they could end off very strong. Honestly, they really can. They have a couple games where it could get tough, but for the most part, they have very winnable games. If you just look at the seeding, I know in this NBA that shit don't matter. Anyone could beat you. But just off paper, when you look at the seeding, they have a very advantageous schedule ending off. So if they could build some stride and they could move up. They can maybe even pass Phoenix. You never know, but they could move up. They could definitely move up. So, especially with Memphis not having Ja, they can move up. That 3rd spot is very reachable, especially with how many games left. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have 12 games left. So we'll see how it transpires. You already know. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. What y'all think of the Clippers, the new look Clippers, how the Clippers have been getting on a 4-game winning streak. Are you confident in them? You're not believable? Are you a fan? Or like not a fan, sorry. Are you confident in their ability to contend for real? Are you confident in that yet? Are you not? What's going on? Like, how do you feel, etc.? So we'll see how that transpires. But for the most part, like I told you, Kawhi not. Please don't try. Stop, boy. When that man's on your team and he's locked in and he's looking athletic, he's catching alleys, catching bodies. He's doing, you know what I mean? Like, he's getting acclimated. He's here, though. He's here, though. Yeah. I've been confident. I have no worries for the rest of my days. The only worry is if you face Phoenix in the first round. That's a different discussion because KD there. You know what I'm saying? That's a different discussion. If they avoid Phoenix, they can maybe go to the conference. Like, the West is tough. But it's still open for anybody at the same time. No one is have it on lock. You know what I'm saying? So even though I think Phoenix has it on lock if KD healthy, but other than that, you haven't seen it, so it's still up in the air. Nobody has it on lock. So we'll see how it goes, how it transpires. You already know. It's True Talks. Share, like, and subscribe. We out here. There's no doubt here. There's no drought here. You feel me? I appreciate y'all. You already know. And I'm out, man. tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend. You feel me? I appreciate y'all. You already know. Again, and I'm out, man.